a moron. Yeah, I'm a moron. Oh my god, I'm a moron. Oh my god, I'm a moron. Oh my god, I'm 47 years old and yeah.
I don't know. And I know I can't play that shit on here because like they're fucking hardcore with that shit.
I've been finding brand new hacks and tricks for Legion Remix. Here's 35 of the best ones to help you min-max Legion Remix. Tip number 1, your free bronze stimulus package. The very first thing you do when you log onto Legion Remix on your first character, open your spellbook, go into the warband tab as you see on screen, and use your warband map. This instantly completes all the Legion exploration achievements for a very cool free amount of bronze. The level 70 plus XP trick.
Yeah, I know. It gives you quite a bit, but then you realize that there's no point in having it.
I found that saving these bonus objectives so when you're level 70 plus is more efficient, because that is when leveling gets way more difficult. And these bonus objectives, they actually scale. And they give you
Leveling is fucking easy. What are you talking about?
I think completing 2 of these bonus objectives can almost give you an entire level. So save these for way later in the leveling process. Next tip, the correct way to use the heroic world tier. I've actually found that it's best to turn on heroic world tier around level 20 to 30, and you keep it on as long as you're comfortable with getting the leveling process. Next tip, the correct way to use the heroic world tier. I've actually found that it's best to turn on heroic world tier around level 20 to 30, and you keep it on as long as you're comfortable, you're not getting destroyed.
Alright, I'm sorry, brother.
Frankly, the
I know you're trying.
open world is
That was difficult. Holy shit, why is my algorithm all like Russians and shit? What the fuck? Let's listen to Bernie. What's he got to say?
Military force against the American people. Madam President, we cannot allow masked ICE agents to snatch people off of our streets without due process.
No.
We cannot continue to allow President Trump to undermine the Constitution and the rule of law by refusing to spend money appropriated by Congress. Unbelievable. The President says money was appropriated to states which committed the terrible crime. You know what their crime was? They voted against Donald Trump. And in this world right now, I guess if a state votes against Trump, maybe you're not going to get the federal money that was appropriated, whether it's Vermont, New York, New Jersey.
The sad thing is that everything he's saying is not
really
wrong. It's just
the
that
United States of America
everybody's at a point now where they don't even fucking care.
President say you vote against me, you're not going to get your tax dollars back in federal investments. Madam President, according to every poll that I have seen, the American people, by huge numbers, do not want to see a doubling of their health care premiums. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 78% of Americans, including 59% of Republicans, want to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
What the hell?
And the polling numbers are equally high, or almost as high, to making sure that people are not thrown off of Medicaid. Tony Fabrizio, who is President Trump's own pollster, not just the general pollster, he's the pollster for the president. This is what he said, quote, "By broad bipartisan margins, voters want to see the ACA tax credits extended rather than expire at the end of the year, whether in the context of premiums doubling or 5 million families losing their health insurance. This includes solid majorities of Trump voters and swing voters," end quote. That is the Republican pollster. Right now in the House, to the best of my knowledge, there are at least 14 Republicans in a very tightly controlled caucus who want to see the ACA tax credits extended. Here in the Senate, there's at least one Republican senator who understands that in his state, his people cannot afford a doubling of premiums. And my strong feeling is there are many, many other Republicans who are not excited about going
I'm
home
not
and
happy,
explaining
yeah.
to their constituents why their premiums are doubling. Madam President, as the ranking member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, I asked people across the country in the last few days what these health care cuts that the Republicans are pushing would mean for them. We just sent out emails, and we've gotten many, many, many hundreds of responses. And we asked them, what would a doubling of healthcare premiums mean to your life and your family? What would it mean if you were one of the 15 million Americans thrown off of healthcare through cuts in Medicaid? What would it mean to you if the rural hospital near you shut
What
down
would you do if
because
I
of these Medicaid cuts? And in less than a week, we received responses, many hundreds, from 42 states and the District of Columbia. And today, we are releasing a report that describes the devastating human impact of the Republican budget and its massive cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. And here is just some of what we found. People are afraid that they could get sicker or even die. Laura, I won't give her last name, from Wisconsin said, and I quote, "I live in fear of whether or not I will be able to afford my life-saving treatment. I have a rare kidney disease that requires immunotherapy every 9 months. I am terrified I will die," end quote. And we got a lot of
And
those.
she probably will.
People who are dealing with very serious illnesses who, in fact, will die. They will die
Oh,
if
I'm
they
gonna die.
cannot afford health insurance, and they will not be able to afford health insurance if their premiums double or if they're thrown off of Medicaid. But it's not just the fear that people will die or get sicker because they lack health care. All over this country, working class Americans will not be able to afford food they need, pay their rent or their mortgage, or health care. Brittany from Utah writes, quote, "I am already living paycheck to paycheck. I have insurance for myself and my 2 sons, just bought a house that we can barely afford." So she's hanging on the edge. She has to pay more for health care. Maybe she loses her house. Sebastian from Colorado writes, quote, "I don't make enough to afford rent and food and health insurance. Only 2 of those things do I need to survive. These cuts make it even more impossible to turn things around and get a handle on health issues." End of quote. In other words, 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Today, they can't afford housing. Today, they can't afford childcare. Today, they can't afford good quality food for their kids. Today, they can't afford to send their
Is that
kids
gonna
to
heal?
double health care premiums, and these families are going to be in disastrous shape. Tara from Vermont said, quote, she was shocked by the warning about the loss of the advanced federal subsidy. Rather than a premium of $100 a month, I could be paying more than $1,200 a month, or 35% of my income, and that's before deductibles and co-pays. And by the way, when we talk about a doubling of health insurance premiums, that's on average. Some people will pay less.
Right when I was about to
Some
do it.
people will pay a lot more. Small business owners are concerned they will have to shut down. Joe from Pennsylvania writes, quote, "I'm a small business owner, and if my health care costs continue to rise, I will be forced to close my business and look for a job if I can find one," end quote. Patricia from rural California writes, quote, if our local clinics and hospitals close, as they are likely to do, with federal funding disappearing, along with health insurance becoming unaffordable, people will die. End quote. She's right.
To the depths of Helheim for a small price. Your flesh and blood.
On average, healthcare premiums will double. But here's what happens when it's not average. If you are living in Virginia, your premiums could go up from less than $650 a month today to nearly $2,200 a month next year. $650 to $2,200. That is not a doubling. It's almost a quadrupling of what you pay. If you live in Idaho, your premiums could go up from $283 a month to $407 a month. If you live in the state of Georgia,
For why
your
the
family could
flash
see their
bar is not
premiums go
showing
up
up.
from $940 a month today to over $4,000 a month. Madam President, at a time when people today
Why was Vikings fought like fucking pirates?
the idea of doubling, tripling healthcare premiums is insane. It's unacceptable. And no member of the United States Senate should support it. So, Madam President, no, I am not going to go back to Vermont and tell the people there that I have thrown 15 million Americans off the health care that they have. At a time when studies indicate that will mean that tens and tens of thousands of people will die as a result. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to vote for a health care situation which doubles premiums for 20 million Americans. So, Madam President, we are where we are right now. The time is now. When the United States Congress has got to look beyond their campaign contributors, has got to look behind the oligarchs who fund their campaigns, and have got to begin standing up for ordinary Americans. Our job is to improve the broken healthcare system and guarantee healthcare to all. Our job is not to throw 15 million people off healthcare and double premiums for more than 20 million, to shutter nursing homes, community health centers, and rural hospitals. The choice is clear. Let us stand with the American people. Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, they control the White House, they run the government, and they have the responsibility to keep the government open. And in that light, it might be a good idea, a radical idea, but in the midst of the crises that we are facing, it really might be nice for Speaker Johnson to actually bring House members back to Washington after their 18-day vacation. The American people are nervous about this shutdown. Federal employees are deeply disturbed. People are frightened. Republicans in the House should return to work. Madam President, as we all know, Senate rules require a 60-vote majority in order to pass a budget, 60 votes. And that means that passing a budget requires bipartisan support. That is why decades ago, the rules were established. It's very rare that one party has more than 60 votes. So if you need 60 votes, it means that you have to compromise, you have to negotiate. When Democrats were in power, they had to work with Republicans to get the 60 votes. When Republicans in the past were in power, they had to work with Democrats to get the 60 votes. That's the way it worked. But not now. This time around, Republicans have refused to negotiate. Basically, what they are saying is it is their way or the highway. Take it or leave it. So, Madam President, within that context of Republicans refusing to negotiate, what is this shutdown about? What are the major issues that
Find out why
separate
the hell the fucking bar is not
parties?
working.
Well, it is not complicated. Madam President, as everybody in America knows, our healthcare system today is broken, it is dysfunctional, it is cruel.
Oh, that's why. There it is, right there.
We are the wealthiest country in the history of the world, but we are the only major country not to guarantee health care to all people as a human right. And in fact, our health care outcomes are worse in most cases than other major countries. It is a broken system. Today, in the richest country on earth, 85 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured. And that results in some 60,000 Americans dying every single year unnecessarily because they can't afford to go to a doctor. We pay the highest prices in the world for healthcare. It is unbelievable and unsustainable. We are now spending over $14,000 for every man, woman, and child. When you throw in Medicare, Medicaid, employer-covered health care, individual costs, over $14,000. That is insane, almost twice as much as other countries around the world. We pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. 1 out of 4 Americans can't afford to go and fill the prescription their doctors write.
And that's
In
the way
America
they like
today,
it.
in our great country, we don't have enough doctors. People all over
Where are
America,
all the
all
doctors?
over America have to wait months to get in to see a specialist.
We are the
We don't have enough nurses, massive nursing shortage. We don't have enough
Nurses,
dentists.
we don't know where they
We don't
are.
have enough mental health counselors.
We're trying to look
And our
for them, we
life
can't find them.
expectancy, how long we live, is substantially lower than other major countries, despite the fact that we spend so much more. Now, given that reality, given that our healthcare system is broken, one might think that the issue we are debating today is how do we improve it? How do we make sure that in America we appreciate healthcare as a human right, which it is? How do we guarantee healthcare to every man, woman, and child
Oh,
in
I'm in
a
the wrong one.
cost-effective way? In my view, that is moving toward a Medicare for all, single-payer system. Other people got ideas, bring them forward.
He's got
Healthcare is a
ideas.
human right. But that is not the debate we are having now. The debate we are having now is not how we improve a broken healthcare system, but how we prevent a broken healthcare system from becoming even worse. And I will tell you, Madam President, as the ranking member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, somebody who has studied this issue for a while, I
That's
feel
for,
very
what
much
you call it.
that
What?
if we do not stop Trump's attack
These are all
on the American
Americans.
healthcare
Alright.
system, the entire system could collapse. We are on the verge of that right now. People can't afford healthcare, people can't find doctors, people can't find mental health counselors, people can't afford prescription
You
drugs.
can't afford it.
We have a drug epidemic.
Only your eyes.
We are on the verge of collapse.
Yeah, they know it.
Madam President, what this
They
debate
fucking
is
know
about in Florida and Vermont and all over this country
Florida.
is if Republicans get their way and if Democrats cave in, health insurance premiums will double for over 20 million people on the Affordable Care Act. Yes, you heard right. 20 million people will see a doubling of their health care premiums. You can't afford health care now? Of course you can. It's outrageously high. That's not Bernie Sanders talking. That is the Kaiser Family Foundation study. That is one of the most conservative members, Republican members of the House, Marjorie Taylor Greene, making that point. a doubling of health insurance
Look
premiums.
at that, man. I mean, he's like,
Does
yeah,
any
look, she's
member of the
even
United
saying that.
States Senate want to go home to their district and explain why you're going to double premiums? But it's not just raising the outrageous cost of healthcare in America even higher. As a result of Trump's big, beautiful bill, 15 million Americans are going to be thrown off
We don't even
the
have
healthcare
ours
they
right
have
now.
because Trump and the Republicans made the largest cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act in American history. And let us be very clear. These cuts not only impact 15 million Americans, that would be a tragedy unto itself. They will devastate nursing homes right now. The situation of nursing homes in Vermont, and I expect many other states in this country, is a disaster. They are understaffed. Nursing homes in an aging society are shutting down. Where will people who are old and can't take care of themselves, who are disabled, what happens to them if the nursing home industry collapses in America? Community health centers, something that I've worked on for many years to increase funding. Over 32 million people access community health centers. They provide primary health care, dental care, mental health counseling, lower cost prescription drugs. They will suffer enormously, cut back on services, perhaps shut down because of that legislation if we do not.
They know it, man. These guys are like on a fucking
Rural
fast
hospitals.
track to
Republicans say,
kill a
oh, we
bunch of
put
people.
$50 billion into rural hospitals. Yeah, but you cut $150 billion. And all over this country, rural hospitals are teetering on the edge. Many of them have already closed down over the years. So you live in a rural America, state of Vermont, you want a hospital nearby? Well, that hospital may not be there. Now, why did Trump and the Republicans make these massive cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act? And the answer is not complicated. It was important for them to provide $1 trillion to the top 1%. $1 trillion. Massive cuts to health care, $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1%. Now, so let me make the very radical suggestion that Elon Musk, who is now worth some $500 billion, does not need another tax break. Today, we have more income and wealth inequality than we've ever had in the history of America. Musk himself owns more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. Top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 93%. Never before have we seen such income and wealth disparity. Republicans said we're going to massively cut Medicaid, ACA, in order to give tax breaks to the richest people in America. But the issue that we are debating, Madam President, is not just health care.
Why is every time I someone understand?
That is.
Some quest.
What we are talking about is whether we are going to allow our country to move toward an authoritarian society run by a president who is a megalomaniac, who wants more and more power in his own hands, who does not respect the rule of law or the Constitution of the United States of America. It is not acceptable to me that our president is putting federal troops on city streets throughout America without a request from a governor or a mayor, trying to create provocations, trying to create disturbances so we can use
not just that, man.
military
He's
force
just fucking flexing his
against
power.
the American people.
Because he can.
Madam President, we cannot allow masked ICE agents to snatch people off of our streets without due process. We cannot continue to allow President Trump to undermine the Constitution and the rule of law by refusing to spend money appropriated by Congress. Unbelievable. President says, well, money was appropriated to states which committed the terrible crime. You know what their crime was? They voted against Donald Trump.
Man, what the
And
hell?
in this world right now, I guess if a state votes against Trump, maybe you're not going to get the federal money that was appropriated, whether it's Vermont, New York, New Jersey, other states. Is that really what the United States of America is about? The president say, you vote against me, you're not going to get your tax dollars back in federal investments. Madam President, according to every poll that I have seen, the American people, by huge numbers, do not want to see a doubling of their health care premiums. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 78% of Americans, including 59% of Republicans, want to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, and the polling numbers are equally high, or almost as high, making sure that people are not thrown off of Medicaid. Tony Fabrizio, who is President Trump's own pollster, not just the general pollster, he's the pollster for the president. This is what he said, quote, by broad bipartisan margins, voters want to see the ACA tax credits extended rather than expire at the end of the year, whether in the context of premiums doubling or 5 million families losing their health insurance. This includes solid majorities of Trump voters and swing voters, end quote. That is the Republican proposal. Right now in the House, to the best of my knowledge, there are at least 14 Republicans, a very tightly controlled caucus, who want to see the ACA tax credits extended. Here in the Senate, there's at least one Republican senator who understands that in his state, his people cannot afford a doubling of premiums. And my strong feeling is there are many, many other Republicans who are not excited about going home and explaining to their constituents why their premiums are doubling. Madam President, as the ranking member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, I asked people the last few days what these health care cuts that the Republicans are pushing would mean for them. We just sent out emails, and we've gotten many, many, many hundreds of responses. And we asked them, what would a doubling of health care premiums mean to your life and your family? What would it mean if you were one of the 15 million Americans thrown off of health care through cuts in Medicaid? What would it mean to you if the rural hospital near you shut down because of these Medicaid cuts? And in less than a week, we received responses, many hundreds, from 42 states in the District of Columbia. Today, we are releasing a report that describes the devastating human impact of the Republican budget and its massive cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. And here is just some of what we see. People are afraid that they could get sicker or even die. Laura, give her last name, from Wisconsin said, and I quote, I live in fear of whether or not I will be able to afford my life-saving treatment. I have a rare kidney disease that requires immunotherapy every 9 months. I am terrified I will die. And we got a lot of those. People who are dealing with very serious illnesses, who in fact will die. Will die if they cannot afford health insurance, they will not be able to afford health insurance if their premiums double, or if they're thrown off of Medicaid. But it's not just the fear that people will die or get sicker because they lack health care. All over this country, working class Americans will not be able to afford the food they need, pay their rent or their mortgage, or health care.
It's not even like in case of
Brittany
will
from
not,
Utah
they can't.
writes, quote,
Like, that's happening right now, Bernie. What the fuck, man?
I have insurance for myself and my 2 sons, just
Oh no,
bought a
it will
house
happen.
that
No,
he
it's
can barely
happening.
afford.
Like,
End of quote. So
It's
she's hanging
happening.
on the edge. She has to pay more
it's
for health
happening,
care.
man.
Maybe she loses
the iris
her
opens.
house.
The way to
Sebastian
Oh,
from
the
Colorado
Irish
writes,
opens.
quote, I don't make enough to afford rent and food and health insurance. Only two of those things do I need to survive. These cuts make it even more impossible to turn things around and get a handle on health issues. End of quote. In other words, 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. Today, they can't afford housing. Today, they can't afford childcare. Today, they can't afford good quality food for their kids. Today, they can't afford to send their kids to college. Double health care premiums, and these families are going to be disastrously faced. Cara from Vermont says, quote, shocked by the warning about the loss of the advanced federal subsidy. Rather than a premium of $100 a month, I could be paying more than $1,200 a month, or 35% of my income, and that's before deductibles and co-pays. And by the way, when we talk about a doubling of health insurance premiums, that's on average. Some people will pay less, some people will pay a lot more.
No,
Small
man, I didn't
business
even
owners
get the
are concerned
fucking
they will have to
chest,
shut down.
man.
Joe from Pennsylvania writes, quote, I'm a small business owner, and if my health care costs continue to rise, I will be forced to close my business
Fucking A,
and
kill
look for a
these
job
motherfuckers.
if I can find it. End quote. Patricia from rural California writes, quote, if our local clinics and hospitals close, as they are likely to do, with federal funding disappearing, along with health insurance becoming unaffordable, people will die. End quote. She's right.
And know this to be true. Should I step within, I would be lost.
On average,
I don't know what the fucking
premiums
why
will double.
it's lagging
And
like it
here's
is.
what happens when it is not average. If you are living in Virginia, your premiums could go up from less than $650 a month today
It shouldn't
to
be,
nearly
but it is.
$2,200
I don't know
a
why.
month next year.
And
$650 to $2,200. That is not a doubling. It's almost a quadrupling of what you're paying. If you live in
hold
Idaho,
on, I can't.
your premiums could go up from
I can't log out now?
$283 a
Really?
month to
Can't log out
$407
now,
a
huh?
month.
Fucking
If
log
you
out.
live in
How
the state
about
of
that?
Georgia, your family could see their
How
premiums
about
go
that?
up from
You like that?
$940 a month today to over $4,000 a month. Madam President, at a time when people today cannot afford health care, the idea of doubling, tripling healthcare premiums
Alright,
is
I'm
insane.
gonna leave some of these
It is
add-ons to find out why it's,
and no member of the
fucking
United
failing like
States
it
Senate
is.
should support that. So, Madam President, no, I am not going to go back to Vermont and tell the people there that I have thrown 15 million Americans off the health care that they have
I'm an asshole.
at a time when studies indicate that will mean that tens and tens of thousands of people will die as a result. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to vote for a health care situation which doubles premiums for 20 million Americans. So, Madam President, we are where we are right now. And the time is now when the United States Congress has got to look beyond their campaign contributors, has got to look behind the oligarchs who fund their campaigns, and have got to begin standing up for ordinary Americans. Our job is to improve a broken healthcare system and guarantee healthcare to all. Our job is not to throw 15 million people off healthcare and double premiums for more than 20
Yeah,
million
well, they're gonna do it.
to shutter nursing homes, community health centers, and rural hospitals. The choice is clear. Let us stand with the American people. Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, they control the White House, they run the government. They have the responsibility to keep the government open. And in that light, it might be a good idea, a radical idea, but in the midst of the crises that we are facing, it really might be nice for Speaker Johnson to actually bring House members back to Washington after their 18-day vacation.
Nightmare before.
The American people are nervous about this shutdown. Federal employees are deeply disturbed. People are frightened. Republicans in the House should return to work. Madam President, as we all know, Senate rules require a 60-vote majority in order to pass a budget, 60 votes. And that means that passing a budget requires bipartisan support. That is why decades ago, the rules were established. It is very rare that one party has more than 60 votes. So if you need 60 votes, it means that you have to compromise, you have to negotiate. When Democrats were in power, they had to work with Republicans to get the 60 votes. When Republicans in the past were in power, they had to work with Democrats to get the 60 votes. That's the way it worked. But not now. This time around, the Republicans have refused to negotiate. Basically, what they are saying is it is their way or the highway. Take it or leave it. So, Madam President, within that context of Republicans refusing to negotiate, what is this shutdown about? What are the major issues that separate the parties? Well, it is not complicated. Madam President, as everybody in America knows, our healthcare system today
Are you kidding me?
is broken, it is dysfunctional, it is cruel. We are the wealthiest country in the history of the world, but we are the only major country not to guarantee health care to all people as a human right. And in fact, our health care outcomes are worse in most cases than other major countries. It is a broken system. Today, in the richest country on earth, 85 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured.
Now I'm on shooting foot, though.
And that results in some 60,000 Americans dying every single year unnecessarily because they can't afford to go to a doctor. We pay the highest prices in the world for healthcare. It is unbelievable and unsustainable. We are now spending over $14,000 for every man, woman, and child. When you throw in Medicare, Medicaid, employer-covered health care, individual costs, over $14,000. That is insane, almost twice as much as other countries around the world. We pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. 1 out of 4 Americans can't afford to go and fill the prescription their doctors write. In America today, in our great country, we don't have enough doctors. People all over America, in Vermont, all over America, have to wait months to get in to see a specialist. We don't have enough nurses, massive nursing shortage. We don't have enough dentists. We don't have enough mental health counselors. And our life expectancy, how long we live, is substantially lower than other major countries, despite the fact that we spend so much more. Now, given that reality, given that our healthcare system is broken, one might think that the issue we are debating today is how do we improve it? How do we make sure that in America we appreciate healthcare as a human right, which it is? How do we guarantee healthcare to every man, woman, and child in a cost-effective way? In my view, that is moving toward a Medicare for all single-payer system. Other people got ideas, bring them forward. Healthcare is a human right. But that is not the debate we are having now. The debate we are having now is not how we improve a broken healthcare system, but how we prevent a broken healthcare system from becoming even worse. And I will tell you, Madam President,
Wow.
as the ranking member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, somebody who has studied this issue for a while, I fear very much that if we do not stop Trump's attack on the American healthcare system, the entire system could collapse. We are on the verge of that right now. People can't afford healthcare. People can't find doctors. People can't find mental health counselors. People can't afford prescription drugs. We have a drug epidemic. We are on the verge of collapse. Madam President, what this debate is about in Florida and Vermont and all over this country is if Republicans get their way and if Democrats cave in, health insurance premiums will double for over 20 million people on the Affordable Care Act. Yes, you heard right. 20 million people will see a doubling
I didn't want to do
of
this.
their
I don't know.
health care premiums. You can't afford health care now? Of course you can. It's outrageously high. That's not Bernie Sanders talking. That is the Kaiser Family Foundation study. That is one of the most conservative members, Republican members.
Alright, that's enough of that. Unfortunately, what they do with a lot of these is they repeat them over and over and play them off as if they're being broadcast live when they're really not. There's all kinds of ways that you can exploit YouTube. And YouTube doesn't mind it, apparently. Kinda wild. Can you even see anything out of that? Yes. I'm now, like, kinda like... So, apparently the item level goes up, like, past 700 and something. I'm not even in that timeline. Yeah, put me in the cell timeline. What the fuck is going on? Practically... Find out what the hell's causing all this damn lag. Like, I didn't have this fucking problem yesterday. What the hell happened? Why am I lagging now? So for the 14 subscribers that are on my fucking channel, I've made a conscientious decision since last night not to stream on Twitch anymore. Twitch is a compromised platform that's being exploited heavily. But also, I feel like it's not a safe environment for anyone to stream on anymore. was a lot of people, but oh, shit. Area. We don't want that. We don't want that. We really don't even want that. Very active area. Also, reference.
Okay, so Legion Remix has had some pretty insane changes over the last 24 hours. Let's go through those.
Where's the American content creators, man? What the hell? What does it say? Oh yeah, that's happening now. I want to see that.
Two reasons, right? First one, it was really hot out there. And I think, and there was a concern about. I remember
The No
Two
Kings
Planet was in here
protest
for
today
that. We
is
had Jane
happening.
Montreal anchoring the cover.
Yeah, that was a real concern. They had hydration stations. I mean, that was a real. They wanted to make sure everyone was drinking enough water, getting in shade, staying out of the sun, because yeah, it was a big concern. Now, I mean, if you're gonna spend a day walking around Uptown, being out there, considerably better weather.
Considerably, it is a lot better. You see folks there with sweatshirt shorts, so it just kind of gives you. It's a fall day here in North Carolina, just to describe
I
it.
mean, it's gonna be a beautiful day. We're gonna hit low 80s
Yeah.
towards at the peak of the day. Like it's a good day to get out.
So again, not
Get
much of a
outside,
concern
it's
as far as
awesome.
folks. Not saying that it couldn't happen, but not much of a
couldn't
concern
happen,
as
but
was
it
back
might.
in June. And obviously now, the big difference is we're under a government shutdown.
Oh no, I don't know if
We've
you
been
all
on-
knew that.
We're entering
Did you
week
know
3
that?
of the
Oh,
government
you
shutdown.
probably
We're in
didn't.
day 18 of the government shutdown.
Oh man, that's unreal.
And it looks like, and it is, and it's not even it looks like, it is at a stalemate. Both sides are pointing the finger at each other.
Oh god, I think both
Blaming
sides.
each other for the shutdown. We've heard from House Speaker Mike Johnson, a daily press conference. We've heard from Senator Chuck Schumer, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. We've heard from other GOP leaders, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, about the shutdown, the impacts. Again, them blaming each other for the shutdown. So we have this live shot. Which
We're both sides and everybody.
okay,
Yeah,
let's
alright,
go
we're
back
out of that. We're out of that. We're
So
out of
black-
that. We're out of that. We're out of that talk. We're out of that talk.
Felicitations to you.
Oh, thank you. Alright. I'm just gonna do time walking shit. Fuck it. Until I can figure out what I want to do.
Greetings, traveler. Be careful.
The fucking, like, news shit, like, on liberal news bullshit, it's so dumb. Cause, like, they do the same shit the MAGAs do. Like, they're doing the same shit. Like, my YouTube algorithm is like, here's one. MAGA is in an absolute panic. Like, in all capital spelling. Over No King's Day 2. Like, by who? Part Rose Permaculture. Who the fuck is that?
Y'all, MAGA is freaking the fuck out
No,
about
man.
No King's
MAGA's
Day.
so
Every
mad
video
right
I
now,
have on my phones
guys.
is riddled with bot
Oh my
comments.
god,
Some
they're
of them
so mad. Oh man, MAGA's breaking up. Oh, it's happening, guys. Or the best ones I hear are like, oh, Trump is in so much trouble now. Oh, he's in real trouble. I'm like, is he? Is he in real trouble? You guys have been saying this shit for like the last, oh, I don't know, 5 years that I've noticed. And I have yet to see him actually be held accountable in any fashion at all. Beyond that one time that that when Biden was still in office, they took him to court and all that shit. That's the only time you've seen that fucker go anywhere. The Livy, We Hate Trump outlet people fucking suck. And they really do. Come on, bro. Magnus gonna get it, man. That's it. Magnus is mad. They're really upset. I'm like, oh, goddamn.
Consume! Devour! The harvest has come!
Oh, I'm done.
Leave this meager vessel! Ancient souls of the Black Rook, rise and join our chorus! This energy...
I didn't realize I was like fucking behind the wall. Yeah, my man.
Now I see.
The darkness.
Yeah,
It is gone.
fine with that.
You aren't the ones who did this? I understand now. You
And nobody
must
cares, sorry.
find Kutalos. You must put a stop to this.
Love socializing, it's so good. They don't even fucking care. It's just like, go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Invaders have breached the passage to the crypts. Ilisana, you must hold them.
Oh, I don't think we're rolling
We
that
have
way, right?
much to lose. Your father's life most of all.
You need not worry. I will not fail, Atrocities. Men, the invaders come for us. Do not let them pass. For Kalimdor!
Alright, we're done. We're fucking done with that. We're so fucking done with that. I do not care. I'm done. I want nothing to do with that. I'm fucking done. I really don't know how to play mage that well anyway. Alright, I'm out. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, like, I was making fun of these, liberal channels on YouTube. Farming, liberal outreach. It's liberal, rage bait, mainly. Like, they farm them just as much as, like, the MAGA, right-wing outlets do. Probably,
Looking for something special? Goodbye.
Maybe legit MAGA, but I think a lot of them are bots. They all say things like, y'all, MAGA is freaking the fuck out
Oh
about
man, MAGA is so mad right now, man.
King's Day. Every video I have on No Kings is riddled with bot comments. Some of them may be legit MAGA, but I think a lot of them are bots. They all say things like this. The shutdown is Democrats' fault. Please stay home. Please, well, what I mean is please, could you please just stay home? Loads of this, like, there's no point.
No. And I'm telling you, man, this is like imaginary shit. The fucking livings are like fucking making up. I think it's fucking real. MAGA is mad, bro.
Just stay home. It reminds me of that scene in Labyrinth where the walls are telling
I'm a
Sarah,
millennial.
"Turn
You guys
back.
remember that?
It's
I
too
do.
late. It's danger ahead." Right? And Jareth is also like,
I
"Turn
remember
back, Sarah,
Labyrinth.
before it's too late." I can't do David Bowie, but you know what I mean. Right? It's that, like,
Well, maybe you
I have
shouldn't.
to discourage you because that's all I've got. I'm desperate for you to give up. Please, please, please stay home. Please give up. And it's not just the bot comments that are working overtime. It's also Mike Johnson.
I encourage you to watch. We call it the Hate America rally that'll happen Saturday. Let's see who shows up for that. I bet you see pro-Hamas supporters. I bet you
Hate
see
America rally?
Antifa types. I bet you see the Marxists in full display. The people who don't want to
Those
stand and
Marxist
defend the foundational
motherfuckers.
truths of this
Oh,
republic. And we
man.
do.
Was that something about every accusation from the regime is a confession? Are you fucking kidding me with Republicans supporting the foundations of our government? Y'all are abdicating your constitutional duty. You are betraying your constituents on a daily basis. Mike Johnson, you are an avowed white Christian nationalist. You don't give two shits about the Constitution. Fuck.
Alright, I've heard enough from slop. Oh, my favorite one.
Your arrival is fortuitous. Tonight the nobles have gathered in honor of the Grand Magistrates.
Alright, we got Demon Hunter.
Melisande herself will attend. This presents a rare opportunity to catch her away from her source of power. The side entrance to the grounds. Too many eyes are watching the front. This is your best chance to eliminate the Grand Magistrates. Good luck. It seems the best watcher charged with keeping order during the party. Might I suggest the hidden approach? Along the way, you'll want to disable your arcane beacons and keep the sentries from raising the alarm.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. Well, it's a good thing I looked at that.
No trespassers allowed! Guards, to me!
La si sa sa.
Watch out up here. I've heard tell of a demonic council that draws strength from one another. This bond must be broken. Explore the area and find a way to separate the council groups. Divided, they cannot stand against you.
Make yourself useful and take a look around. What are you waiting for? Check out that noise. Not very clever of you to challenge all of us. It will amuse me to watch you melt. My hero fire will be glorious.
You've done well so far, but we must ensure you blend informants and North Legion spies attending this party. Greetings. Glory to the Shelderai. Excellent. Now that we have the key, the way to the balcony should be open. It's time to put an end to Elisar.
Do you expect me to waste time chattering with vapid nobles even as my enemies close in? Look there, you fool. You're not alone.
Impossible. My guards would never permit such an intrusion.
Yet another failure, Commanders. Consider this your chance to correct it. Dispose of these outsiders. I must return to the Night
Finally, I'll make this quick. I will speed you towards your demise. Son, forgive me.
What was that, a heroic one? Yeah, that was a heroic one. Okay. But, bunch of units. What a weird question to ask. Members only. Oh my fucking god. Help, help! There you go.
The nightmare is carved on our gods and legends. You're down.
Embrace the dream engine. It can save you.
No, I will not permit it.
Embrace the dream engine. It can save you.
No, I will not permit it.
champions, step forth and hear me. The nightmare has long been a cancer eager to consume the Emerald Dream. Had Xavier succeeded, his corruption would have overwhelmed Azeroth, giving rise to a living nightmare. Your triumph restores the dream and safeguards your world.
Hi,
The
man.
allies of Xavier's will never relent. But this road, at least, is closed to them.
I never know which way to go.
You should have fled. Now, I'll feed your bones to the storm crows. I will flatten you like saplings! The wilds tremble before my fury! The nightmare's veil is lifted. I return at last to the long slumber.
This was the Emerald Dreamway. During my long slumber, it was here I communed with the green dragonfly.
Seems to have wild origins here.
Place has been made into a conduit for the
memories.
nightmare to spread its corruption. This we cannot allow.
Oh, I don't have a pet. What do you know?
Strands of life have been severed. The dreamers must be avenged.
I can peace is but a fleeting dream. Let the nightmare reign!
It fades. It all fades away.
Oh, Yasandra, how cruel fate can be. Cleansed of the nightmare once before, only to become its victim yet again. Some wounds.
Poorly written. Oh.
May you find peace at last, old friend. Behold, the iris opens.
Vagina.
Cenarius is clear. Moonland is the most sacred place in all the dreams. To think that my Shandong could play any part in its corruption. I see with my own eyes what horrors have befallen my beloved teacher. Steel your hearts against the darkness, heroes.
We must strike back at the nightmare! Is that you? You fight with noble hearts. Could it be true, Erosion? How?
Let the nightmare be cleansed!
Filth Defiler! Father, is that you?
drunkenness, nourish. Like, Rio. Oh, let me fucking access it. God damn. Oh, god damn it. Alright, whatever. The dream! Damn it.
The dream has changed.
The dream has changed.
Still. I dreamed the dream. Now
You are not gonna let me change my fucking... God damn it.
she served faithfully as guardian of the dream, only to be perverted into a gatekeeper of corruption.
Oh.
I have faced the nightmare before, but never has it had so thorough a stranglehold on the dream. It hungers, desperate to seed its corruption. Do not let its whispers seduce you into madness. From each of these pathways, palpable evil emanates. Choose a course, and know that I will stand with you.
All the way back here.
What manner of foul creature is this? It seems poised to unleash its corruption upon Thunder Bluff. The spirit of the torn people must not fall prey to the nightmare.
Betrayers, liars, murderers. Has Hamoon sent his lapdogs to fetch his knife from my back? Do you remember murdering me? Or have you grown so used to slaughter that my cries of agony are long forgotten? I recall my final moments, surrounded by those I had trusted. Your satisfied sneers as I drew my last breath. None for you! Only gushing blood and broken bodies! Such juicy morsels!
What horror is this? A tumor of nightmare infecting a world tree, here in the reflection of the Titan's own playground. If this seed takes hold, the roots of its infestation will wind their way into the heart of Azeroth. The nightmare would devour our world, claiming everyone. This must not come to pass.
You don't have a...
Come, savor your fear as we feast upon it. At last, the feeding hour.
What the hell happened to my dog?
It's a pleasure to work with you.
Time is set in sand, not stone. Change is good.
Sight. Well, that's fun.
In need of repairs? See you soon.
A boring game, huh? I'm sitting there, I'm like, God damn, this is boring as fuck. I think that's the whole thing about Legion that people don't really realize, that, like, people have, like fond memories of it being, like, a really great expansion, but, like, I have a lot of memories of it often, like, endgame-wise, not being very good, at least very early on endgame. So, Suramar being, like, a prime example of that, and the fact that I don't even want to go there and touch any of that. I don't want to do Suramar, and I'm not doing it. I know it fucks up the whole meta thing, but I'm like, you know what? You know what? You know what? I've done it once, I ain't doing it again. And, like, what's the end result? A mount. Well, I'll live without it. Like, there's a lot of mounts I don't have that I'll never get, you know? Like that chicken mount. Like, I want that chicken mount. But I'll never get that chicken mount, because, like, that chicken mount is like an old card mount. And I don't have thousands of dollars to buy one. Oh yeah, well, that's something I should do. Let me see, I'm halfway there. The problem with those achievements is that they require, like, a lot of coordination and shit. I'm like, I'm not that coordinated, okay? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, you know what else is funny? I was just playing that without a raid cooldown manager. Right. I didn't even install the links. And I didn't realize that until I was halfway into the Emerald Nightmare, and I'm like... And then it dawned on me, like, oh, right, I didn't install, like, a fucking raiding counter add-on. I'd like to ask people, like, do they truly feel, WoW is social? Like, they feel like that has returned for them in any capacity? Like, for example, Classic WoW. That game is dead as fuck. That game is insanely dead. Like, Classic is dead. Let's see, we got one here, officially the end of Classic WoW as we know it. Oh, wow. Well, we got one dude crying about the end of, like, all times. Actually, 3 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. All within a month. 4 videos on YouTube. Let's see. What happened to Classic WoW? Yeah, what happened to Classic WoW, man?
Hey guys, what's up? Mad Season here, back with another video for you.
Oh, fucking Mad
kind of
Season,
a
I
different
forgot all
style
about you.
of video for me. I'm going for a more casual feel, so hopefully you'll excuse the
casual.
lackadaisical editing for this one. I used to watch an old WoW series called Laps Around Dalaran from an old school channel called Fat Boss TV, who stopped making videos a long time ago, and I kind of miss it, so this is my tribute / ripoff. Let's just call it Laps Around Canifis. That's where we are right now, so yeah, give me an A for originality.
I should play RuneScape.
But anyways, today I just wanted to talk about the channel a little bit, the videos, what my plans are, and sort of the dynamic of WoW and OSR's content right now, both from a game perspective and also as a perspective of somebody who makes videos about them. So, as you probably know, I'm primarily known for World of Warcraft. Specifically, I'm what you would call a classic Andy. It's just the version of the game that I prefer. No hate to any other version. But yeah, I am definitely what you would call a niche channel. That just sort of happens when you make 600 videos about one thing, I suppose. But more recently,
400.
Obviously, considering the environment that you see before.
No, I just realized that you get less experience from doing the heroic dungeon than you do doing the normal.
A game that at the moment.
Well, you get 18,400 for normals, and then you get this little dinky amount right here. Alright, new normals. What the hell am I doing?
The reason for that, bringing out a meme straight from the dinosaur era, I'm gonna let Mr. Chad Warden take the mic.
Blizzard ain't got games. It ain't got games.
That's right. Blizzard ain't got no games.
Ain't got no games.
At least right now. Classic is in kind of this awkward period that their recent season just ended. The 2019 line just re-released Mists of Pandaria, and a lot of people like this, which is fine. But I think most people would agree that it's not really vanilla. It's actually not anywhere near vanilla.
Nobody said it was.
Far away from vanilla as you can get.
Hold on. Let me tell you guys something about this, alright? Every time I hear one of these dudes like, you know, Mr. Pantera, or whatever, Mr. Pantera, Mr. Pandaria, it's not vanilla at all. Yeah, no shit. Neither was Kata. Neither was Wrath. Neither was TBC. We know. I don't know what to tell you. Why? It's the naming scheme mainly. That's probably what he's bitching about. But he's upset about like that Mr. Pandaria is called Classic. And Classic is called Classic Era. And I agree, the naming scheme is kind of dumb. But what are you gonna do? Anyway.
So, unless you're into hardcore or anniversary, which is pretty much the same as the 2019 run with a lot of people that are much like my ex-girlfriends. Yes, plural. Unsatisfied.
Talking about?
Hey guys, what's up? Mad Season here, back with another video for you.
Oh, what the fuck?
First hours of the night to whoever runs and gets them shut down.
Could serve me papers at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday night.
Of course, because that's all their friends. Yes, plural. Ex-girlfriends. The awkward period that their recent season. Let Mr. Chad Warden take the mic.
Blizzard ain't got games. It ain't got games.
That's right. Blizzard ain't got no games. At least for right now. Classic is in kind of this awkward period that their recent season just ended. The 2019 line just re-released Mists of Pandaria, and a lot of people like Mists, which is fine, but I think most people would agree that it's not really vanilla. It's
yeah, no shit. Nobody said it was.
It's about as far away.
And that's the whole thing. I'm like, nobody said it was vanilla, man. You're fucking dumb.
From vanilla as you can get, so unless you're into hardcore or anniversary, which is pretty much the same as the 2019 run with a few tweaks here and there, there's a pretty large void of people that are much like my ex-girlfriends. Yes, plural. Unsatisfied and wanting more. Unless you, of course, play private servers, such as Turtle WoW. And
Mad Season, what did you turn into, bud? What the hell did you turn into? I didn't know you were like fucking weird like that. It's like my ex-girlfriends. I hate women, right? LOL. Oof. Okay, buddy. Didn't know you were like that. You know, that's when the WoW bubble, the classic WoW bubble broke. You know, and now he's like, oh, now what do I do? I was making money, now I'm not. Find something new to talk about. In that dark zone. Oh, let's call it dark zone. Yeah, I don't like it. It's okay, but I don't like it. And I'm also not hesitant to call somebody, you know, an R-turd. They like whatever that I don't like. I'm weird like that. Clean up your room! Clean up your room, motherfuckers! Here, I installed a, big links. Hold on. I'll get back to him in a minute.
Defiant. I can smell the nightmare in your blood. Be gone from these woods, or suffer nature's wrath. Defilers. So it is you who have befouled these woods with the nightmare. What is that you hold through it?
Is that an elbow?
Clouds my thoughts no more.
A fluke. Savor it and pray you do not face
They will be more than prepared. For your true power rests in the nightmare.
Silence, weakling. When you open your mouth again, it will be to cry for mercy.
See, I happen to like the over-the-top villains in WoW.
Crush you to splinters! I told you to leave me alone. A pity you have come this far only to die at the hands of Xavius.
An empty threat. You hold no sway over this realm, Nightmare Lord.
Yes, I am.
Bold words for a prisoner. Even an echo of my power was enough to overwhelm you.
man, look at that, the mad season. I'm like, I've never heard that guy ever talk like that. I'm like, I thought he was just like a nice dude. Now he's like, hey, fucking bitter.
What is this? Don't make me laugh.
Well-earned victory.
Yeah,
We
she
must,
did it.
however, stay vigilant. Deep inside the nightmare, Xavius remains unvanquished. The enemy you fought here was merely his shadow.
In which case, you are very much unlike my ex-girlfriends. Yes, plural. Because you are quite satisfied from what I hear. I hear a lot of good things about it, actually. And on that note, people have asked why I haven't covered it, and the reason for that is you actually
Alright, dude.
if you
What
make
the
a
fuck?
dedicated video about a private server, Blizzard can actually take that
Didn't
video
know you were
down.
like that,
In fact,
man.
before Official Classic was released, streamers naturally relied on private servers, of course, because that's all there was, and Blizzard would quite constantly DMCA them. And as for why I haven't played it, well, private servers are tricky because if they're actually quality, it would stand to reason that they would grow quite large, and if they grow quite large, that's when Blizzard starts sending in lawyers at odd hours of the night to whoever runs them and gets them shut down.
It served me papers at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday night, slamming and knocking on the door, freaking the crap out of my wife, and waking up my baby daughter in the next room.
So it's kind of a catch-22 or whatever. Their quality and their lifespan are inversely proportional to each other. And for me, I am old as fuck at this point, and I know not everybody is like this.
You don't sound like you
Actually,
are.
according to my demographics, you guys are all very old as well. But, and I'm just saying for me here, I'm kind of past this era of constantly losing and resetting progress, and it really just kind of gets into the whole crux of this video, and the reason why I've kind of slowed down on classic content specifically lately, first off, is just one, as I mentioned earlier, there's nothing really going on with vanilla that's interesting to me. And
He's right.
two, what little is going on with it is sort of based around losing all of your progress, whether that be anniversary eventually going to the Burning Crusade, which was confirmed, or, you know, dying in hardcore,
It's over.
which I never do, of course. Yeah, one day I will continue Penny Pincher, I swear. I had my soul crushed multiple times, so I'm still like recovering
Fair
from that,
enough.
but I do still want to do it eventually. Sorry for the large delay. And aside from that,
Yeah, what
of
the
course,
fuck?
you have the
Normal.
seasonal content, which is always designed to eventually end. So, just speaking for myself personally, and this isn't even anything to do with the channel, just as, you know, a player, OSRS is currently
He
providing
sounds like
something that
extremely,
Blizzard isn't, and
defeated
that's
is
some
how I
form
would
of
put it.
security and longevity, sort of due to how the whole game is set up. And I'm not gonna get into that whole thing.
Why
That's
does that always
a whole
bring
other
that up?
subject that I already covered if you've seen recent videos. But talking more about the channel here, since day one, I've kind of followed this very selfish philosophy of making videos that I find to be interesting.
Alright, so I
or
guess I
cool,
can't,
rather
like,
than
really
what
avoid
you guys
taking
think
any of these.
is interesting or cool. And I say
Yeah.
selfish there, but I truly believe that those are the best channels on the website, because you can kind of get a feel if a channel is into something or not, or if it's just kind of, you know, forced content or slop content as it's called these days. And I'm 99% sure
Right,
most of the
dude.
comments in this video will be in agreement with that. I think it's easier than
Like, I can't imagine he's that old. Like,
kind of
he's
pick up
talking like
when
he's
they
like
kind of
my
lost
age, and
their
I'm like, I
passion
don't
for
think
whatever
you are.
they're
Well,
talking about, and they're just kind of doing it. Just
maybe
for
he
it.
is, I don't know.
And
I don't know.
I have
I don't know.
definitely followed this to heart, even though it essentially kind of killed my channel for 2 years once I stopped making WoW content for a time.
Oh, that's
I
what it is.
hardly made any videos, in fact, because I was
Okay,
going through a very difficult period of my life, and I didn't really have any interest in anything, so it was sort
Okay,
of
that
like,
explains
well,
it all.
if
Fair
it's
enough.
a choice between forced bad videos and no videos, I'd rather make no videos and sort of take that time to recharge my batteries so I can eventually make good videos again instead of just running on this low quality burnout that I feel like you see a lot end up happening with a lot of channels. So I'm very much aware of the danger of that, and I try very much to protect myself from burnout whenever I can. Although actually I should correct myself, I did make a few videos, and those ones I think were actually some of my best because I cared about them enough that they still had the power to draw me out of that really shitty, depressed, effed up headspace that I was in because I was just that interested in them. And I think they turned out really, really well because of that. And as for when I finally came back, it was with something that Blizzard was putting out that I was interested in, particularly hardcore mode, and then after that, Season of Discovery, which kept me for a few phases before I just kind of lost interest because it wasn't really hitting that chord, that vanilla.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with that, right? It really wasn't hitting the right notes.
That's where my head is
even
at.
with me.
Although I do know that I am in a World of Warcraft niche. That's usually where most of the interest lies in my channel, since I've made so many WoW videos over the years. But more as a form of quality control, I always try to stick with topics or videos that.
Alright, so I don't know. WoW is dead and he's upset, and you know, he's a classic WoW guy, and yeah, basically that. Alright, sorry, Mad Steven. Sorry. Alright, here's another one here. If this is officially the end of classic WoW as we know it, in parentheses. Hi. Andrew Ants, 1 month ago. They're all within a month. Is that the meta right now?
Pretty much. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about what I think everyone kind of needs to hear, and if you've been, you know, around on the internet as of lately, you know that some things have gone down, right? We've had Blizzard come out and pretty much decimate Turtle WoW with a massive lawsuit. We've had people talking about the fact that they want to stick up for this private server and all of these other things.
Here's the deal. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna save my thought on that. I'll let him finish. Hold on.
I want to dive into this and kind of give my opinions on why this is happening right now, and it's going to shock you because I don't really think it's as bad as everyone thinks it actually is. And there's some things we're going to go over. So we're going to do a little walk and talk here today in Stranglethorn and just talk about this stuff. So basically, if you don't know what's going on, I'll give you a really quick recap, but I'm not going to rehash the whole lawsuit and all that stuff. So basically what has happened is, over the past few months, private servers have been growing in popularity, mainly for a few reasons, right? Everyone wants a Classic Plus. Blizzard does not offer an official option for Classic Plus. They offer a lot of products, right? We have Classic Anniversary, which is moving into TBC. We have Classic Hardcore. We have Classic Era. We have Classic Mists of Pandaria, which launched just a little bit over a month ago. We have Retail. We have Season of Discovery, which is arguably completely dead at this point. And that's a lot of options, right? But sadly, none of those are the options that most people want. And what most people want is a World of Warcraft version of old school RuneScape. That's where Classic Plus comes in. People want a version of Classic that kind of moves parallel to Retail in the same fashion, but keeping it classic. They want Classic Plus to be a world in which vanilla World of Warcraft, which ended at level 60 before the Burning Crusade, goes on forever with constant updates, staying in that same world.
And that ain't never gonna happen. And that ain't never gonna happen. I can end this dude right here. I can stop him right here. And it's never gonna happen. It's just not. These guys, like, I don't know why, like, I'm not even somebody that works in the industry, and I know this fuckers. Like, it's not gonna happen. If it does happen, it's not gonna happen in a way that you're gonna like it. Like, and the reason why is very simple. For Blizzard to do a true to form classic plus like this guy is talking about, right? With like brand new content, but set within the confines of like vanilla WoW. In order for Blizzard to even have any motivation at all to do that, they're gonna want money up front. Additional money. Not like, oh, here's your $15 a month, this will cover it all. No. They're gonna want additional money because they're gonna treat that brand new content as something that requires money. And it does. It requires money because we're talking about them creating brand new content like they would for the new expansion. That's what it is. These guys, like, I can't do it because that's why. It would be like asking a car company to make a very specific car. Like, alright, let's just say, like, Ford, right? We'll say a Ford F-150 on, like, 2010. And it would be like saying, hey, I bought this 2010 Ford F-150. You should give me a Ford F-150 from 2010, but with new technology in it. And I shouldn't have to pay for any of it. Holy shit balls! Yeah, that's the reason why you're not gonna see like a true to form Classic Plus. You're just not. Because Blizzard is gonna want money for it, plain and simple. I don't know why people have a hard time like understanding that. I don't even work in the in for that company or anything like that, right? And I know that's how they operate. It's not like RuneScape. It's just not. It's not like RuneScape. RuneScape probably has like 5 developers, if that, working on that fucking old ass game. Yeah, truth not terrible on that. I'm sorry. Anyway, I stopped that guy from talking.
The level count, all of those good things. And there's private servers out there that have achieved this. And, you know, let's not be crazy about it here. They've achieved it with greatness.
Yeah, they've achieved it with also taking donations and cash shop money. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Right? Like, I think, you know, private servers like Turtle WoW did an incredible job with that. But playing on private servers is against TOS. What private servers are doing is illegal. They are stealing intellectual
finally,
property
somebody
that
actually
Blizzard has
fucking
created,
pointing out the
and
obvious.
expanding upon it, right? Now, whether you think that Blizzard's incapable of making a Classic Plus or not doesn't really matter. The law is that they are not allowed to use this content. It's just plain and simple.
Bro,
it is illegal, and when you're advertising and pushing and kind of poking the bear with showing how popular your server is and all that stuff, of course Blizzard's going to take action, right? Because they have to defend their IP. If they choose not to defend their IP, I mean, I'm not a lawyer and this is not legal advice or anything, but what I was reading is that it gets to a point where if they don't defend it for long enough, it opens up their IP for fair use, and that's definitely not something they want to do. Right now, people are wondering, you know, why now? Why is this happening now? Because, and I think the reason why so many people are asking that is because a lot of people just started playing on these private servers, and they were having a really, really good time. And then obviously Blizzard comes out with the lawsuit, and, you know, the servers are still online, but not many people want to gamble with wasting their time and all this stuff if they could potentially be shut down.
And that's exactly why those lawsuits went out like
people
that.
Are gonna say
that's exactly why I said that very early on. I said that was the true nature of why. Oh, hold on. Of why Blizzard did a little lawsuit against
say they're not getting shut down, they're blah blah blah, they're safe from this, whatever. I get it, I completely get it. And I do think that the stuff that Turtle WoW added to the game was absolutely top tier. I just wish that we could see it in an official. And so that's one of the main reasons why I think we're seeing this major decline. And the other reason is that it's just been too much of the same thing, right? Too much of the same thing. I think that, and hear me out on this, I think that releasing Anniversary again was the wrong move. I think that stopping...
that's what I said also. I think that was a wrong fucking move on their part.
Pandaria Classic was the wrong move, and to be completely honest, guys, the numbers show it, right? If we go ahead and look at the numbers, let me pull them up here for you guys real quick. If you go ahead and look at these numbers, what you're gonna find is that it was the wrong move. So let me share my screen for you real quick. Boom, like that. Okay, so we're all the way down here at the bottom right. You can't really see all the little bars, but Mop is now peaking at 192,000 players, whereas Cataclysm peaked at 317k. Okay.
Yeah, let me pause in there for a minute. So like, what he's talking about right there, right? The thing to keep in mind is that, yeah, it's the wrong move in the sense of, like, hey, it's fucking stupid. Like, but it's still benefiting them, like, that's the reason why they did it. They did it because they knew it keeps the subs. People would be like, yeah, we'll do it. For a while. They're drawing these games out to maintain monthly retention. That's what it is. So, even if, like, say, Anniversary flops, or Classic flops, they have retail right now going on, right? They have Remix. So, if those two don't cover it all, they know that Remix will. And in the event that, like, fucking Remix starts to wane down, they'll have something else to pop up and like, oh, here you go, here's my next monthly sub. That's what they're doing.
I knew you would come.
You know, they're designing this content now
Spirits guide you.
around just maintaining this cycle of monthly subscriptions around Classic era, and retail. Now, my prediction is next year, and I think they're going to do this next year, they're going to do a battle pass type system. And I think what they're going to do is whenever they're going to do their Classic Plus, the Battle Pass system will be the one that covers Classic Plus. Or whatever they decide to call it. That's what I think they're doing. They're going to do a Battle Pass for WoW. It's coming. It's like, nope, that $15 a month ain't going to cover it. Because again, they're doing brand new content, right? So I think what they're going to do, they're going to put together a team to work on content for Classic. Like brand new content. And the idea will be, yeah, you can play Classic Plus, or whatever you want to call it, if you pay 20, 25, whatever they're going to charge for a year or whatever, for whatever their battle pass system is going to be. And they'll throw in like additional things like the trading post currency. It's all right there. The whole thing. Like, they have a system in place right now. They got housing coming out with Midnight. That's going to be money right there. They're going to have a cash. They're going to have a cash shop for that. I already know what they're doing. They're going ESO. And you can see it. They're going ESO. They got the whole thing is lined up to do exactly what ESO does. You'll have housing items that you can buy. You'll have probably custom houses that you can probably buy, right? And then on top of that, they'll have the battle pass system or whatever they're gonna call it, and that'll also apply to whatever they're gonna call their Classic Plus. That's how they're gonna do it. You watch. Now, if I'm right, you can come back in several months or whatever, damn, this dumbass was right. The whole system to do something like that is already there. It is already there for them to monetize everything. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to monetize it all with the Battle Pass shit. You watch. Anyway, I gotta pee real quick. I'll be right back. Here, well, I'll let him talk.
Over 100,000 more players in Cataclysm, which was arguably way less hyped up than Mr. Pandaria Classic. Now, I think that this kind of, as sad as it is, it shows us the reality of what's going on. You have players leaving WoW Classic, official WoW Classic, in droves to go to private servers. You have people not playing Mr. Pandaria Classic, which has only been out for a little bit over a month. But I want to preface this and also say that all of these versions of the game do have a player base. You can play them. They're not dead in the sense of Season of Discovery is dead. There's 3,000 players rating on Season of Discovery. You would struggle to join that now, start from scratch, find a guild, and play the game. These other servers are not like that. Anniversary is still very, very healthy, very popular, although we've seen a little bit of a drop-off in the AQ phase. MOP, you could definitely find a raiding guild or join GDKPs over there, whatever it is that you want to do over there. But we are seeing a massive decline in interest overall for official WoW Classic. And I thought originally that this was for just WoW Classic. I thought, maybe people are just done with this. Maybe people are done with Classic WoW. Nobody wants it anymore. And then the private server scene started to pick up. So it showed that people weren't really done with Classic WoW. They were just done playing the same thing over and over again. They were done playing Blizzard's Classic WoW. And that's why they became popular. And then obviously all this was provoked. Blizzard hits them with a massive lawsuit. I'm not sure how that's going to end. But obviously it is Blizzard's property. They have every right to do that, and they have to protect their IP. Now, a lot of people are saying that I've had some speculation in my stream and in some chats in the comments saying that they did this because they're about to announce that Classic Plus is coming next year. I personally don't think this is the case. I think we're not going to get a Classic Plus announcement until next year at BlizzCon, maybe. But you never know, right? Because you got to think about what's going on right now in the World of Warcraft universe, the Classic universe specifically. You have Midnight coming out next year, first of all, for retail. Then if we dive into Classic, we have TBC coming out either end of this year or early next year. If they're moving into TBC, there's got to be plans for them to move into Wrath, right? You would think. I mean, most likely that's the plan.
Yeah, they probably will.
But I think that what we're seeing right now is a setup, and I was talking about this yesterday on my stream. Anyone who was in my stream probably remembers that. I think what we're seeing right now is a setup, and that's why it feels really, really dull right now. It feels like there's no hype. And the reason for that is because they're setting the stage to do Classic Plus. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it's going to be popular or not, it is. It's going to be extremely popular, even if it's 20% of the content that, like, TWoW and these other servers have. It will still be popular because it's going to be more accessible, and it's going to be legal, and it's going to be official and tied to your sub. So all the people that are subbed to play retail are going to go check it out most likely.
The thing is, like, if they do Classic Plus,
probably going to go check it out. All the hardcore players, they might
he's
check
right
it out.
about that.
All the mop players, they might check it out, right? So no matter what it is, it's going to be popular, at least in the beginning. And that leads me to what I'm trying to say. I think why it feels so bad right now, why everything feels so bad. But besides the fact that there's just been zero communication, we get zero hype to work with as content creators, we get zero hype to work with as players, because I'm a player before I'm a content creator.
Unless you have a contract with WoW, or Blizzard, or anything like that, they don't owe you jack, man. No offense. I'm like, yeah, I get you're a content creator, but I'm like, unless you have a contract with them, I doubt it. Like, I don't even call myself a content creator. You know what I call myself? An old degenerate who, likes the idea of broadcasting, but I don't really call it content, because who the fuck is watching me? You know? And I kinda like it that way, to be real. I've always streamed under the presence of, you may participate and watch at your leisure. I don't care. I don't care about numbers, I don't care about making money. Although making money would be cool, but to be real, like, if I could passively earn money, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be fucking fantastic. I would like that. Anyway. Interrupting is for soul. There you go.
We get zero communication on what's going on, what's coming. Everything seems like it's a big secret. I get it. That's just how Blizzard operates. But they're setting the stage. And I want to be able to come back and reference this video when I was right, because I know I'm right. They're setting the stage for Classic Plus. MOP was a test, right? MOP
I'm sure
Classic
they are.
was a test to see if they should keep going with Progressive Classic, right?
I don't think MOP was a test. I think MOP was just like a planned thing. They're like, yeah, if people like MOP, yeah, we got numbers to prove it. They're willing to do Kata. Kata was the test. I mean, Rat the Lich King was really the test right there, but I digress. Like, I don't think MOP Classic was a test. I think that was a planned thing that they were going to do regardless. You know, because again, they're planning all these various different WoW versions around keeping the monthly $15 a month going. That's what it is. Anyway.
Progress forward into Warlords of Draenor, progress forward into Legion Classic. It was a test. And we had this same test with MOP Remix, right? MOP Remix performed really, really well. So they were like, okay, maybe MOP Classic will do it just as good. And I think that I was watching someone's video. I think it was a Willy video where he said basically what they were doing is like A/B testing. And he's 100% right. I think that he nailed it by saying that. Like, it's all A/B testing. And I think releasing MOP Classic and seeing how unpopular it actually is, not dead. It's not dead. I know anyone who's playing MOP, you can still play the game, but it's not very popular. You know, it's less popular than Cataclysm.
It kind of is, man. If you've been on there like I have.
I think it's all A/B testing, and they're now seeing that maybe MOP is going to be the end of Progressive Classic, and maybe they just do remixes of old expansions going forward, right? This is, hear me out.
Yeah, sorry, that right there, I can see them doing.
They do remixes of old expansions going forward. MOP ends, so that version of Classic is just basically deleted from existence. You move your characters over to retail or whatever it is that they want you to do. They already put out surveys asking if they want to do this, so it's very possible. So that happens, right? Now think about that. TBC comes out in Anniversary. That then progresses into Wrath over the next 12 months after that launches. Now, what they're doing here is they could be setting the stage for era servers. We have our vanilla era server. Maybe we'll get a TBC era server. Maybe we'll get a Wrath era server. And that's the original trilogy of era servers that probably will maintain a healthy pop of 10 to 15,000 players. There's some people out there who don't want a Classic Plus and they'd rather live in these versions of the game forever. And that's fine. That's what they want. So now imagine a world where Progressive Classic is gone. MoP Classic is gone. You now have a vanilla, a TBC, and a Wrath era server. Maybe they do rolling freshes every once in a while. Maybe you could transfer your characters in between those expansions as you feel you need to. Maybe they charge you for it, whatever it is. So now you have that. Basically, that would just be called Classic WoW. Vanilla TBC Wrath. You can play on any server that you want. You also have hardcore on the vanilla stuff. So that makes one WoW. Okay, that's one WoW. And then on the other hand, like I said, MoP is gone, so that WoW is gone. Now this opens the room up a little bit for them to do Classic Plus. Now Classic Plus, most likely, if they're listening to the player base, which I really hope they are, would run alongside Classic and Retail. It would run as a standalone version of Classic that just consistently gets updates, new areas, new zones, new questing, new things to do. You know, a version of Classic that's more permanent. As you've been seeing in everyone's videos, I'm not going to rehash it, but I've been talking about this since the beginning of Season of Discovery, where I felt like the seasonal model for WoW was not it for me.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I hate seasonal shit.
People want permanent progression, permanent content.
He's right about that.
Years and years to come, so they don't
It does not hit the same way, man. They're trying to Diablo the game. That's why I call it like that.
You play. You can play it for a couple of months, and then if you stop for a month or two for life stuff or work or whatever, maybe you have a baby, this and that, what happens is you come back and everything you did is wasted. It's all gone.
Yep.
That's why
you lose all that progress. That's what it is.
There's this sense of horizontal progression in RuneScape, where you can stop playing for 2 years and everything you did before that was still relevant when you come back.
He's right about that. He's right.
It operates on a more seasonal model. You know,
it operates on a Diablo 3 model, to be exact.
Retail, Classic. Basically, in Classic, every patch is a season. That's why they release catch-up mechanics, catch-up raids.
It's garbage. I hate it.
And I'm not saying that won't exist in a Classic Plus, but an ideal Classic Plus would just be a version of World of Warcraft Classic that you can play forever, that you know these characters are still going to exist on that realm 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. And I think what Blizzard is doing, why they're so silent, why it feels like there's such a drought, why it feels like there's such a lack of communication, is most likely because they're setting up for this, right? They're trying to get through so that everyone has their
right now he's right about that. So what they're doing is, like I said, they're laying everything out to stretch out, people being subbed. So they're doing all 3 games. They know they have audiences for them. And they know that, if, okay, whatever. They know that, if, say, Anniversary server doesn't pan out very well, they know that they'll keep numbers in other versions of WoW. And they're trying to, make that all stretch out until they do their Classic Plus thing.
Okay. If you are someone who doesn't want Classic Plus and you're a TBC enjoyer, you'll get your TBC era server. If you're a Wrath enjoyer, you'll have your Wrath era server. Anything beyond that, we've decided now as a community, it doesn't really feel like Classic, and it's not very popular. Numbers don't lie, so anything after Wrath, maybe some people like it, I'm sure, but they can just release remixes of those, and I think that's the move. That's what they're going to be doing going forward. But having that vanilla TBC Wrath server,
right about that.
That's the original trilogy. That is what most people hold close in their hearts, and I can see them releasing era servers for those. And then releasing Classic Plus on the side. Now, this is tricky, though. Because with the silence that Blizzard brings With the zero communication, I think that there's room for a lot of potential problems within the community. And as a content creator, I get hit with the brunt of this, and so does everyone else who makes classic WoW content. When Blizzard makes a decision that pisses off the community or really upsets them, who hears about it the most? It's us. We get blasted in our comments, you know, all sorts of name-calling, horrible stuff people say to us, but we just deal with it because we love the game, right? I
No,
think
you love
that
the
this
money
can
too.
be
Shut up. Shut up. Shut
avoided
up.
if Blizzard was just clear about what they're doing. Clear about what they're doing. Let me repeat that. People need to know, and I get 100 comments a day on some of my videos stating, I'm not even coming back to play TBC unless we know we're getting an era server. Blah, 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 blah. We need to know. People want to know before they waste their time, and I think we are at a point now where people are literally stopping playing the game because of how it's being run and the lack of communication. So Blizzard, if you're watching this video, please consider just giving everyone all the information up front and let them decide how they want to spend their hundreds of hours in this game. That's all I'm asking. If you're planning on doing a TBC era server, say it now. Say it when you launch the pre-patch. If you're planning on moving TBC into Wrath, say it when you launch TBC. And say that you're doing a Wrath era server, or you're not. You please need to give some information, because what you're doing is you create a sense of unrest in the community. You create, you're literally, by doing that, you create people's problems that they have with the game. You create anger, you create sadness, you create happiness, you create all these different things. And I feel like if you just gave the information, if you just had a plan and said this is what we're doing, people can spend their time accordingly. People can decide which version of the game is worth their time. They can decide, okay, I'm going to play TBC because it's going to be an era server, so I'll leave my TBC era server, and then we know we're maybe getting a Classic Plus next year, the year after, whatever. So I'm not going to play Wrath, but as long as they're doing a Wrath era server and I can eventually move my TBC character there when I see fit, I'm going to do that. Like, I think that a lot of the negativity, a lot of the stuff surrounding this community that's starting to feel pretty toxic, especially me as a creator, getting hit with the brunt of it in all my comments and all this stuff, it really can be solved with just a little bit of honesty, a little bit of a plan, and a little bit of communication, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I understand trying to drum up hype with silence and all this stuff, but at this point, I think it does more harm than good. You know, I've had people in my stream the past 2 weeks, people in my comments the past 6 months saying that they are not playing Anniversary. They'd come back to Anniversary if they released pre-patch with Nax. Now, would Blizzard do that? I don't think so. Is there a possibility of it? Sure, they could really do anything that they want. And I think right about now, during this time, this dead time, I think that doing something like that, like everyone's asking for, really would drum up some hype and would get a lot of people back in for TBC. People would love to raid Nax with TBC talents and level their Blood Elves and their Draenei and all this stuff. Especially right now with the change of seasons, you know, we're going into fall. We're at September 2nd at this point. It would be a cool thing. It would be refreshing. It would be new. It would add some life to the community again. People would actually love that. So Blizzard, if you are watching, consider it. Consider releasing pre-patch a little bit early, because I'm pretty sure more than half of the community on Anniversary would actually enjoy that. Yes, there's some people out there who never got to experience classic Nax the way that it was or any of this stuff, but to be completely honest, how many times do we got to do this at this point? For the 10 people who never did it, I don't think it really matters. I think at this point, we need some communication. We need the devs or anyone to talk to the community and do something fun.
I guess I'm one of those 10 people who've never done it.
Bring people back. Let people know that you are listening, you see what's happening, and you care that they're enjoying their sub. Because right now, a lot of people don't feel like they're appreciated, and that's why they're unsubbing. I'm not. I have 3 subs. Call me a Blizzard shill, whatever. I just love playing the game. Okay. I'm not shilling for Blizzard. I'm honest with all of my content. I speak my mind on everything. I'm not afraid of saying things that maybe Blizzard doesn't want to hear. I'm respectful about it, and I respect the devs, and I respect the people creating this content, but I will not silence my opinion on things that are going around. I will always be honest, as long as it's respectful. I'm not going to sit here and bash anyone. I know everyone is working to the best of their abilities, but there's definitely some things that we can improve on, and for me, personally, I love this game, and I want to see it succeed in whichever way that is, and I think that we really need some communication. We need something to drum up some hype in the community right now to tide people over to Classic Plus, because if the plan really is to talk about Classic Plus next BlizzCon, about 12, 13 months from now, that's way too far away, man. I'm nervous for this game. I don't think the hype
Oh,
or
it'll
anything
be
is gonna
fine,
last
dude.
that.
Alright, anyway. Interesting video. Thumbs up. I enjoyed that. Hammer Dance is his name. Alright. So, he's, worried about the game. There's another one from, he did 2 of these. What the fuck? We got one from, Classic is Dying. From, Kaziho Gaming.
Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to talk about some pretty hard stuff, some pretty hard pills to swallow, and that is really what's going on with Classic WoW, where we're at numerically. Is it external factors that are really driving this, or is it people just simply not enjoying the game anymore? And that's what we are going to look at as far as trends, the way the population numbers are going. We got the most recent numbers. And it's honestly not good, that's for sure. We see it on every aspect of the game, not just the target, every single one of them. And it has me questioning what the heck is going on. So without further ado, we're going to switch over to the power of the Titans. So this is part 4 of Classic right here. And as we can see, they even broke it down into 2 extra graphs, so we can get a nice comprehension. We have 160,000 people rating, and we have 37,000 people in arenas and PvP. What I find funny is this graph 1,000,000% represents me. First week I did 1 character, second week I was doing 2 characters, did arena on both as well, and now that they all have 489 gear, I no longer do arena, so I am one of these 12,000 that just plummeted off the face of the earth for the arena. So let's go to the total numbers. So let's add up to 182,307 players. And while yes, this is going up 2,000. And what is very, very, very alarming to me, at least, you know, we like to.
Oh, I didn't know I was even in here with another person.
For Rapid Lich King and Cataclysm, the 3 week was almost like it was close to its all-time high. It was 64 rat hit its all-time high. TBC peaked pretty further, but TBC and Classic require way more high. Cataclysm, the most recent thing, and probably carried to mop of these Classic expansions, hit its all-time high at week 3. So we have week 1. So the week 1 to week 2 jump, it was tremendous, and it was like 100 or 210,000 to 300k, then 317k. So week 3 to 6 is where we're really seeing peaks for every single expansion. But to harp on it, like, we really wanted to see some big growth here. We wanted to see these numbers shoot up like 20, 30, 40,000.
This is the best thing ever.
Indicate where
I am still the same Spirit Walker you have known your entire
When I have to admit, this little storyline was pretty good in Legion.
Which gives me great honor to say this next part. Mela High Mountain, I hereby pronounce you High Chieftain. Long may you stand.
That was like the coolest part of this whole thing right here. I was like, because it caught me off guard. I didn't know he was a fucking dragon. And then when I did it, I was like, oh shit, he's a fucking black dragon? What? There's another one? Because before him, there was, you know, our old little buddy Rathian. Evan Horn is cool. I think I probably should. Usually, I don't know. So I never completed this. Anyway, this guy I don't really care about. Or not really feeling your WoW is dead video line.
Good.
Then we got World of Warcraft Classic is dead 4 months ago. By Azamov.
It's painfully obvious to everyone at
Oh,
this
British,
point
you know
that
that.
classic World of Warcraft is
Wow, it's
dying.
dying.
Recently, you may have opened Twitch and wondered why your favourite streamer is now playing League of Legends, aka the best PvP game of all time. Or a point-and-click
Who said that?
game from 2007 where the grind never ends. And the answer is simple. It's because classic WoW is really, really lacking some good crossovers. Let's take a look at Call of Duty, another game published by the wonderful Activision Blizzard. They have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How cool is that? Now they've got Ana de Armas, Nicki Minaj, Gandalf,
Nicki
whatever
Minaj
this
in that
is.
game?
You can
What the
quite
hell?
literally run around
I didn't
with
know
a
that.
gun
That's
as a
funny.
Ninja Turtle. That's
A
true
Ninja Turtle,
innovation.
that is. It's
Now,
not-
let's take a look at another incredible
Ninja
game.
Turtle.
Fortnite has Superman, Robin, Sabrina Carpenter. You can even buy shoes and cars, and lots of cool dances. Now really think for a second. What does World of Warcraft Classic have? That's right, nothing. There's not a single ounce of originality.
Is he
here, and nothing to
anti-classic?
keep players
Oh.
engaged. I think everyone realizes at this
Anti-classic.
point that Warcraft
Wow.
is behind the curve in so many different ways.
can't
It's
believe
funny
it.
because the solution is so simple. All they have to do is add cool skins to the item store, and in
Yeah, it's
classic
just
class
parody.
make a new dungeon where Taylor Swift fights against the Lich King, and the game will have record numbers.
Okay, he's doing parody, right? He's doing parody. Okay, now. Yeah, he was doing a parody. Alright. Yeah, these guys are hard as shit, too. They're not easy. I might want to switch him up with the, what do you call it? That might be too much for him. Another one right over here. How do I get out of this fucking place? do that with? Ah, damn. That was insane. They don't fuck around.
I am glad to see you again.
Alright, where we on? Let's hit the easy way back.
Together, we are high mountain.
So in Remix, they're doing a thing called Heroic World Tier, which is basically heroic mode, I guess, for like leveling and shit. It's a harder difficulty. It's not impossible. Keep that in mind. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. If I had to describe the mode as anything, it would just be like, it's like regular mode, but like the enemies take a longer time to kill. And they have additional abilities that can fuck you up. It's basically that. It's like a bullet sponge kind of like deal.
Peace and patience, friend.
Welcome. I hate about this. Like, every time I change a trinket, I have to check and see if it replaced the right one or not. Where are we at on that? We're at 99 trees, team. That's it. We're not even at the 100 mark yet. And this time around, they made remix very, grindy. Where lot remix didn't really feel like that to me. It didn't feel very grindy. Another one? Where's the other one at? First of all. What o'clock it is? Sorry, I have to get going. I'll be back in a little while. Got stuff to do. Watching.